Let people know who you are, man.
My name is Abe. I run Bay Area Memes. I'm a editor at Broke Ass Stewart, and you can follow me at Real Bay Area Memes on Instagram, Bay Area Memes on Facebook, and Abe is a Bad Writer also on Instagram.
Today we're here like at the Treasure Island thing, man, and we're talking about pretty much gentrification. This is like one of my boys from the Bay Area. I've known him online for a long time, and it's dope to see you in person like for the first time,
it's nice
bro.
to meet you too, bro.
You know?
Through a screen for so long.
For so long, like I feel like I like know you, and and we're just gonna talk about fucking gentrification of like, you know, from California to the Bay Area to now Treasure Island.
Yeah, Treasure Island's interesting because it's like the last untouched spot in San Francisco Bay, and it's at least the urbanized part of San Francisco Bay. Like, this island's really interesting because it's not even a real island in terms of like actual natural land. It's made of landfill, and then like basically the military set up a naval base here and then put a bunch of toxic waste here, and be typical of San Francisco when there's some kind of environmental problem, they put a bunch of poor people on the island and just kind of leave them alone. With the rising cost of living in the Bay Area, like more and more people are looking for kind of overlooked areas, and Treasure Island's kind of the last overlooked area in the Bay Area for housing to be built. That's why you have those big ass luxury condos over there.
Point to those over there, bro.
Yeah.
Right on the hill.
Some of those are going for $20 million, according to articles in the Chronicle, and they have no fucking neighbors. San Francisco's housing crisis is fake. It really is a fake thing. We have 63,000 empty housing units and only about 11 to 12,000 homeless people, depending on what you count as homelessness. So, in all honesty, and San Francisco also spends $1 billion a year on homelessness, and the average housing price in San Francisco is roughly $1.3 million. So if you were to just take that homelessness budget and spend it on housing and put the homeless in the housing, within a few years, you'd literally solve the crisis. But San Francisco doesn't do that because it's kind of a racket.
That's a lot of fucking money, bro.
That's a lot of fucking money.
Where do you think all this money goes to then? If, you know, are people stealing it?
So it's like not like, so it is stealing in a sense, but it's like paperwork. They kind of launder it in a certain capacity. So you have a lot of nonprofits here and a lot of people making a lot of money through the nonprofits here. And essentially what they do is they kind of want to keep the status quo. I'm the type of person that says get homeless people into housing, even if they're crazy, because here's the thing. I'll just be honest, like I have family members who are addicts, and if they are on the street, if they have no stability or foundational support, they're not gonna get clean off drugs. Now some people, even if you provide housing, are not gonna get clean off drugs, let's be honest. But if you want to increase the likelihood and the odds that these people have a chance of transitioning into a normal life, you're going to have to give them the stability that stable housing provides without any strings attached. London Breed, who's kind of a piece of shit, I don't care. I don't fucking care. Bitch. No, anyway. London Breed could suck my dick right now, and that'd be fire. No, I'm kidding. I respect her, and she's a very strong, powerful woman, and I respect her more and more every day. No, keep that in. I don't give a fuck. Anyways, so basically, London Breed. What the fuck was I gonna say? London Breed sucks. No, I don't remember. I was gonna say I had a point, and then I lost it just talking shit. But I kind of want to keep all this in because it's fucking funny.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say about London Breed? I was gonna say something.
Something about like, I think it was about the budgets, or maybe it was.
Oh yeah. London Breed does something wrong, and I had it in my head, and now it is completely gone. I apologize.
It'll come back.
It'll come back.
Well, how do you feel about the politicians from Mayor Ed Lee to now London Breed? All the way, we'll take it to Oakland too. I don't know. I don't think Treasure Island has a mayor. Maybe they do.
No, Treasure Island's actually part of the city of San Francisco. So London Breed technically is the mayor of Treasure Island.
That makes sense, though. Yeah. That makes sense. Why do you think these politicians are so pro gentrification?
It brings money in. Politicians in America are essentially a commodity to be bought and sold. And so all politicians in America in a modern sense really do is try to create conditions that'll invite more investment and money into the city. San Francisco right now is in a very precarious position because it kind of finds itself in this balance between like its progressive history, which it does legitimately have, and the kind of the tech industry and their standards. Like a lot of people move to the cities from the suburbs and they like the idea of living in a city like on paper, but they don't like the reality of living in a city in real life. So they almost want to make San Francisco, in terms of culture, a really densely populated, sterile city. They want everything to be an Apple store. And when they come to San Francisco and they see all these people that they consider weird or off-putting or aggressive, they want to change that. And what they're not going to directly remove them. They're just going to create conditions in which they leave of their own accord because they can't exist within the conditions being presented here.
You think that's what they're doing in Treasure Island?
Yeah, of course. Treasure Island's a beautiful fucking piece of land. Like, we're literally smack dab in the middle of San Francisco Bay. It has probably the best views of the San Francisco skyline anywhere, like legitimately. And then you have Oakland right there. And if you want to get to San Francisco or Oakland, you're 3 miles from Oakland. You're 3 or 4 miles from San Francisco. Like, you can get to either very quickly. And it's kind of isolated in a sense that's actually really hard to come by in an urban area. Like, there's no one fucking here. That's kind of amazing, honestly.
Why do you think, Abe, why do you think that they've kind of, I would say San Francisco, Oakland, definitely the hub of the Bay Area, the heart of the Bay Area. Treasure Island is smack dab in the middle.
100%.
Why do you think they chose Treasure Island to be like the last part of gentrification?
Well,
do you think they're just like it's a land grab? What's going on, man?
Well, I think it's an afterthought. So, for example, it's not part of the mainland of San Francisco. It is isolated and cut off, and if you don't have a car, it is undeniably inconvenient.
Yeah.
I don't really see any Muni stops around here. I could be wrong. I know there's a ferry that connects, it to the main city. There's also no connection to the East Bay that I can think of besides, driving. So I think basically they just were like, okay, we're going to hit Hunter's Point. We're going to try to clear out the Tenderloin, which they're still trying to do. Yeah. And I know they got a bunch of, what is it called, the shipyard? Those like the gentrification condos over there. Yeah. So they're like, okay, so we got that going in HP. Let's hit Treasure Island because it's also the population's small, and the activist community I feel like is less likely to be engaged in Treasure Island because the population here is so small. So like Bayview Hunters Point, for example, is it's connected to the city directly. It has a large activist community. You have people who will confront people on the street just because there's a large community. It's kind of it's literally San Francisco's last black neighborhood. That's not a lie. That's the truth. Here, there's only, I was looking it up. It's only 3,000 people here. Also, what's crazy about Treasure Island, it's half of them are poor. 50% of the people who live on Treasure Island, I don't know about those people up there, but the people in the barracks are under the poverty line. So it's like you have a lot of people who are kind of isolated literally on an island, kind of disconnected from San Francisco's mainstream leftist activists, and they're kind of left to essentially the will of whoever has the money because they're not really connected to any network of protecting themselves against it, to be honest. If that makes any sense.
It's pretty sad, man.
Yeah.
So, just like from Compton to San Francisco.
San Francisco.
It's just
sounds like a rap out. Compton to San Francisco.
The gentrification is crazy.
Are they gentrifying Compton? I don't know shit about what's going on in SoCal, so that's interesting.
SoCal's getting gentrified too.
Okay. No, that makes sense. I just can't imagine like a wine mom in Compton. I don't know why. Like going to like a fucking third wave coffee shop.
It kind of starts like Oakland. You know
Artists.
Artists,
yeah. The blue hair squad.
The blue hairs.
Actually, those people.
Blue hair N95 mask.
Exactly.
I feel like that's definitely what's happening. You know what I mean?
That's so funny. There's hipsters in Compton. That's crazy.
But I don't know, man. How do you see the future of the Bay Area in terms of gentrification? The future of Treasure Island. You know what I mean?
It's hard to say because it's like Treasure Island. It's very much its own thing, and I don't know what's going to happen if the housing crisis continues and there's no systemic change where money is being challenged or there's like affordable houses kind of guaranteed for the residents here. They probably are going to win. I hate to be the fucking bearer of bad news, but it's not like San Francisco, despite its progressive rhetoric, is probably the most effectively gentrified city ever in the history of the United States, especially if you look at how it was in the 60s, 70s, 80s, or even the 90s.
Yeah.
San Francisco got hit hard. We can use the Mission as an example. The Mission was a low-income neighborhood, and aesthetically speaking, it still very much holds that look of a low-income neighborhood. But if you go to live there right now at market rates, you're looking at $3,000 apartments.
Yeah.
Hunter's
Fillmore.
Fillmore's completely fucking done. Divisadero has yoga, outside yoga shit going on, and
bro.
Octavia and all that.
I remember walking down there when I was a freshman in high school. And some kid comes up to me on a bike. He's like, "Where you from?" I was like, "Fuck, I'm not from here."
Exactly. Not here, but
I made up some bullshit. I'm from here. I'm from here. And he was following me on a bike, and I was like, I didn't know where I was.
Yeah.
And I found out real quick.
Yeah, Fillmore's no joke. Well, historically speaking, it was it was a rough neighborhood. It was right behind. You had all the projects behind fucking City Hall and shit, and you had all that shit going. And now it's The McDonald's is still like the last like hood spot. The little one McDonald's there.
You know, as long as there's McDonald's.
As long as there's McDonald's, shit's gonna be fucking. You know, it is what it is. I'm gonna say all right and then fucked, and I'm like, I don't know which one to pick. It's gonna be somewhere in the middle. Sometimes it's gonna be all right. Sometimes it's gonna be fucked. Welcome to McDonald's. You're gonna die. If you don't get shot, the food will kill you. Whatever.
I know.
I'm an expert. Look at me.
The gentrification in Fillmore is crazy, bro. Because like, you'll drive and you'll be like, la da 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 da. I'm in San Francisco.
Exactly.
And
you have the Victorians and shit.
And
you know, painted ladies, all that.
And it'd be like. Then it'd just be like the hood for like 2, 3, 4 blocks, and then da 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 da.
It's actually so. I actually worked in Nopa, which is kind of part of Fillmore in a sense.
Yeah.
And I remember, what was the street I worked on? I don't even fucking remember. But there was like these murals to like people in the neighborhood historically, like basically like the Harlem of the West and like all these jazz clubs and shit like that. And yeah, I was like, or this one guy was like the mayor of Octavia, or no, what the fuck was the street I was on? Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, there was just basically murals to like black people, and then like everyone walking around was just white or Asian, and looked like they had money, and it was very odd.
Very odd.
They just turn like, what San Francisco does is they gentrify the fuck out of a neighborhood, and then they just create it to like a museum of the people who got kicked out. That's essentially what they do. They turn it into
Bro.
That's true.
What they do.
That is really what they do. They're
That
like,
is really
back in 1996, a black man was here. He's not anymore. Congratulations. that's literally what it is.
That is so true.
It's San Francisco's the fakest city in America. I'm not trying to be an asshole, and I'm not hating on people from San Francisco.
No, you're right, man.
But it's like, it is literally the most aggressively fake place I have ever seen in my entire life. And that gives me no pride. My mom is from the city. I've always wanted to live in the city. I grew up in the East Bay, but I always like longed to live in SF. Everyone there is so full of shit it'll kill you.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a dick. It's like they will literally like kick every black person out, open up a cafe, then like put a little sign in the cafe that says, "We like black people, Black Lives Matter," but like essentially remove them, not even by physical force. So it's like confusing. They do it by rent increases and shit. I don't even think they know they're doing
it. They're just, they're
just in it.
They just
don't want to be bad people. They don't really believe in anything. There's something behind their eyes.
It's like virtue signaling.
It's literally like, yeah, no, you're right. It's virtue signaling. They also, no one wants to be part of the problem, and deep down I think they know, but they don't want to like advertise it. So like they're like, no, I'm one of the good ones. I'm with you, even though they're not.
I'm an ally.
Exactly, that bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, can white people just stop pretending to be gay to be accepted? It's fine. I'm saying this as a white guy. Like, just be yourself. It's okay.
I was on 16th Street making a video of Freddie for a Bart Chronicles episode coming out next.
Shout out to Bart Chronicles.
And I went up to this Indian guy, and I was like, where are you going? He's like, oh, I'm gonna go home, make some food and stuff like that. And I was like, how do you feel about the white women gentrifying your guys' culture with the yoga? And he's like, oh,
we love that. Thank God.
He's like, we just do yoga in our sweatpants at home with a regular, like, da 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 da. Like, we don't do all that. Da 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 da. And then like a white woman, like, it's on 16th because they got hella yoga spots.
Yeah.
A white woman comes off a bar with her yoga thing in the back.
Yeah.
Like, how do you guys feel about appropriating people's cultures and sexualizing the yoga?
I'm just trying to look thick. Don't talk to me.
And she's like, you know what? You're right.
I love that. That's amazing. She's like, no, you got a point. I'm a piece of shit. That's so funny. Oh God.
Well, yeah. As soon as the yoga studio goes into your neighborhood with the Whole Foods,
you're fucked.
You're fucked. Yeah. You're for sure.
And if you're in Oakland, people are gonna get shot by it anyway. So what's the point?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the big resistance was on Market Street and the Tenderloin or Civic Center where they shut down the Whole Foods.
Well, someone died in the fucking bathroom. I actually lived right by that Whole Foods when it happened.
They died in the bathroom? I thought it was because of theft.
No, it was both. Someone like died in the bathroom of a fentanyl overdose. They like locked themselves in and got high and they were dead. And then like they were just like, hey, we're gonna cut our losses. But that was like basically that they put that Whole Foods there to like gentrify the neighborhood, and it was just a failure.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
I'm kind of glad that happened.
I'm glad too. Like no one in the Tenderloin.
That's like such a fucking piece of shit. I'm a fucking piece of shit. Amazon. What the fuck is this? Jeff Bezos fucking.
Yeah, exactly.
Penis, like that fucking penis-looking motherfucker. Like that's such a.
He kind of does look like a dick. Actually,
he does look like a dick.
Man looks like the Salesforce tower.
He rode a spaceship to the moon in a dick-shaped
in a cow.
spaceship.
Exactly. It's all about dicks with these guys. They love dick.
Yeah.
All the tech bros love cock. You heard it here first.
Bohemian Grove.
Exactly. For Alex Jones here, coming at you live. They burn children.
But
Take my supplement. God damn it.
Bro, this interview is going exactly how I thought it would go.
I'm Barry memes in real life.
This is why he's Bay Area. Man. Thank you, Abe.
You're welcome, no problem.
We need you. We need you.
We need you too. That's why I'm here.
But fucking, yeah, bro. I'm kind of glad it happened. You know, it's just like, I think it was a bite back from gentrification, you know, especially the downtown in that area. Like, even though it was caused by some pretty fucked up shit that's going on, I'm kind of glad it kind of bit back, you know? Like,
I get exactly what you mean. Like, I am not happy that an individual died of a drug overdose in a Whole Foods bathroom. At the same time, it's like not everything can be a country club.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, and basically it's like rich people, like they have 90% of San Francisco, in all honesty. Despite what all the shit on Fox News tells you, most of San Francisco is just a bunch of rich people pretending to care. And then you have a few places where there's still poor people. And that's pretty much the Tenderloin, parts of Soma, HP, and then the island that we're on right now, Treasure Island.
I feel like eventually, like it's going to turn like this around here too.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be people like living on the streets here too. You know what I mean?
I'm surprised, actually.
I saw a couple people, like homeless people walking around. Maybe they weren't homeless, but
like they were dressed poorly, I guess.
They walking around doing some crazy San Francisco type.
They had shopping cart activities.
Yeah.
No, I get what you mean.
But do you see that coming here too?
If they don't provide house, like for example, the people who live on Treasure Island have been paying incredibly low rents probably for a very long time compared to the market rate. If they start tearing down those houses, which it appears they are going to, then yeah, it probably will increase, or it'll just migrate to the main city, to places like the Tenderloin, because that's where it gets pushed into, essentially. So
let's talk about Oakland gentrification.
Let's talk about it.
What do you think they're going to do with the Coliseum?
I don't know, dude. Like, this thing is like, there's a part of me that's like they're going to try to gentrify, but Deep East Oakland is so Deep East Oakland.
But I don't know. I feel like gentrifiers will just they'll make their own. There's so much space. There's so much space right there. It'll be like a little Piedmont for them, but all like just higher tech.
I think the tech people are actually trying to. I think the thing that's happening in Solano County, the California Forever thing. Like they bought up basically a chunk of Fairfield, and all the tech people want to make their own city. Have you heard about that? I think they've realized that like San Francisco and Oakland, even if they're successfully doing it, is a headache. I think they're trying to make their own little tech utopia further out into the outskirts, and they all just work remote there. But like Deep East Oakland, like it's probably the neighborhood that's changed the least.
Yeah.
I drove through Deep East Oakland recently. There's no Starbucks, there's no yoga studios, there's no Whole Foods. Yeah. Past Fruitvale, they don't even have those little lime scooters. Yeah. Like they don't want any part of that shit. So I don't know. There's still maybe, but I don't see them getting a. Like it's just the gentrifiers are too pussy for Deep East Oakland because it's so aggressively like in your face, still the hood.
The thing is, I see gentrification as a decades-long thing. Yeah. Like they've been planning this for 30 years. And
you're right.
Slowly picking, and they can't wait for a neighborhood to destroy itself so they could scoop up at a cheaper price.
Oh, that's 100% true. That's how it always works. It's just right now, I feel like right now in terms of investing in real estate, because that's the main thing, buy the property and stuff, unless you're a corporation or a portfolio company like a Vanguard, a State Street, a BlackRock, if you're like an individual gentrifier, like you're a guy from a rich guy who's just trying to buy a house to get a cheaper house or more space. Yeah. I don't see Deep East Oakland as being the place to do it because the houses there are still technically really expensive for what they are. Yeah. I see places like my neighborhood actually like fucking the beginning, like basically I kind of live in the beginning of East Oakland, kind of by the lake, but like is the rapper Zell, but basically like in his neighborhood essentially. It's hella close to the lake, and I think that's where they'd find more success. Or West Oakland because it's like right there. You know what I mean? You hop on, you're right there. There's a BART station. The Bay Bridge is right there. Those places make more sense. Deep East Oakland's low key hella far. It is because people don't realize how big Oakland is. People know like downtown Oakland, they know like Rockridge, they know West Oakland, they know that's about kind of what they know.
As soon as you hit the 90s, the 100s.
Yeah, you're like 20 miles from San Francisco, like for real. East Oakland goes forever. Yeah. So I don't know why they'd even want to be honest, in terms of living there. Also, just the reputation. Like I don't think rich people want to like have to deal with a sideshow on 98th every fucking day. I just don't see it. And there's like all the food. There's liquor stores and like Food Max. That's like that's all that's there. Or I guess you got the mall kind of. Yeah.
I just think I don't know. As soon as like the Raiders moved out, I was like, dude, soon they're gonna move the A's out, and as soon as they're out and the Warriors are out, I was like, they're gonna turn that whole place into a little utopia. Like
maybe it could happen, but I think like Oakland's in more trouble than people like. I don't think Oakland's has the capacity to do that anymore, because so if it was like 2019, I could see that happening, because so many people were coming to the Bay Area. The tech thing was such a big thing here, but most of the techies have left. The only reason why the property's still expensive is because of speculative real estate interests and like foreign investment stuff like that. You have billionaires from like Russia and China buying up like if you go downtown, like most of those fucking high-rise like condos and shit, they're empty.
Yeah.
So it's like. I could see that happening back in those days when everyone was flooding to the Bay Area during the tech gold rush or whatever the fuck. But now it's like, bro, people are moving out of Oakland.
Yeah.
Like I was looking at I was actually on Trulia because I'm thinking about moving, neighborhoods from where I live to like a different part of Oakland. I was like, what's going on in downtown? Downtown would be cool. Bro, there's 2-bedroom condos with like skyline views in downtown Oakland for $2,200. 2019, that shit would be 4K.
Yeah.
No one's trying to live there anymore.
Even
just because,
2020.
Yeah, even 20, exactly. So it's like, I don't know if Oakland's fucked right now. Like also just the mass shooting that happened at Lake Merritt, the mayor getting raided by the FBI. It's like, I think just the chaos of Oakland makes it just naturally more resistant to gentrification.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, it's a chaotic place to live. Also Oakland is beautiful, but San Francisco is fucking San Francisco. You know what I mean? It's like even with the chaos, it's still probably one of the most beautiful cities in the world.
Yeah. Like you couldn't live in San Francisco, like you said.
Yeah.
I couldn't live in Oakland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like so used to San Francisco. I've lived in San Francisco for 12 plus years now.
Oh, wow.
And
you're doing well. That's good shit, bro.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not where I need to be. And
but I know what you mean. If you can afford anywhere in the Bay, I'm like, great fucking job. Like, shout out. I'm in fucking entry-level tech sales. We're doing all right.
But yeah, dude, I couldn't live in Oakland, but San Francisco, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, I'm used to that kind of chaos.
Oakland's like, what I like about Oakland, and it's like, the thing, I don't know, it's just like San Francisco is just like, you know when you look at something as when you're a kid, and because I lived in San Francisco for a year and I got the fuck out.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to live in San Francisco, and I always had this like super hyper idealized version of San Francisco. That's why I say such dick as shit, is because I was such like I was such an optimist.
I love it.
And I went there and I kind of got my heart broken. I was just like, this isn't what they say it is.
Yeah.
And I just like went back to Oakland with my bitter ass. And like Oakland works because it's like, Oakland is rough. I don't want to say Oakland's not a rough city. I'd be lying. But it's like, for the most part, if you mind your own business, no one's really fucking with you. In San Francisco, it's like, the only time I've been scared was like for real in the city was in San Francisco, because like Oakland's crazy, but I've never seen a dude swinging a machete screaming at God.
Yeah.
I've seen that in San Francisco by the Target on Folsom.
Yeah.
So, it's like gangsters don't really bother me because I'm not in their world.
Yeah.
But like you can get stabbed by a schizophrenic pretty quickly for no reason, and you won't really understand what happens. And I haven't had any friends who were stabbed or anything, but I've had friends who were randomly attacked on the street by some dude in the Tenderloin for still doesn't know why. Someone just like sucker punches you and runs away and shit.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I
don't know. Oakland's more predictable. It's predictably fucked up, but it's predictable. SF, shit just happens. It doesn't really, I can't really make sense of it.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I guess I'm probably more scared of Oakland, me.
Well, it's also a white privilege thing. It's a white privilege thing. I'm a white guy. The gangsters aren't looking at me
like that. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say it's a race thing, but it kind of is. Like, I'm more scared of going to Oakland because the color of my skin and like who I am, and I gotta watch what I wear.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, like I go to Oakland, I'm wearing a black T-shirt or a white T-shirt.
Yeah.
Probably not even a black T-shirt because like Border Brothers and shit.
Exactly. No, exactly. Yeah. No, I know
so like I'm like I dress like a square when I go over there.
It makes sense.
You know what I mean? Like
it makes sense. That's the thing. It's like that's when people say white privilege isn't real. That's bullshit, because like I can kind of go wherever the fuck I want, and the cops don't know I exist, and the gangsters don't know I exist. It's like if you're a person of color, that's not true.
Yeah.
The cops are on your ass. The thugs are on your ass. Everyone's fucking on your ass for no reason. You're just trying to walk down the street.
Yeah.
For me, that's not really a problem. I understand that. Like,
you probably just have to worry about getting mugged. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I'm 6'7". No one really tries shit with me. I'm not tripping that hard.
Yeah.
I've had no problem. I got mugged actually when I was 10 years old in Oakland.
What?
I sort of got.
Okay, tell me about
so
this.
I was walking on. So I grew up in like the Laurel until I was 12. Then I moved to Martinez. But I remember I found like $40 on the ground or some shit in like a wallet, and I was hella hyped. And there used to be an Albertsons on MacArthur, and I was hella dumb because I was 10. I was like skipping down the street, I was all hyped.
Yeah.
And then some kid just like punches me in the fucking face, and I fall on my ass, and he takes my wallet and just like kind of walks away. I didn't cry, but I hit him with the. You know, I took my ass home. Other than that, though, I've been good. However, my dad has been robbed at gunpoint twice in Oakland. Once in Rockridge, which, you know, what the fuck? The other time was like off of Hagenberger because he worked over on Hagenberger.
Yeah.
But, you know, if I get robbed, I get robbed. Fuck.
I almost got mugged at. I was almost because they didn't take my shit, but I almost got mugged at Ashby BART station.
Yeah, you're in Berkeley.
In Berkeley.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect
But
that.
I mean, this was back in.
Back when South Berkeley was spicier. Oh yeah, but yeah, South Berkeley used to be spicy back in the day. People forget
It was
that.
spicy, man. You know what I mean? And I was like, we were waiting for a train, and I just got done with the cannabis dispensary, and this is back when I used to sell weed. And,
Shout out.
And
I was out there hustling.
I went to like BCG, I think that's what it was called, dispensary, and I got like a quarter, and I had it in my backpack, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take BART back to Pittsburgh. I'm gonna fucking sell this shit, get it off, right? And then like somebody there's like a motherfucker sitting next to me. He's like, hey, what you got? You got anything for sale? I was like, oh yeah, let me just.
Yeah, you're all excited and shit.
To break this off real quick, you know, make my money back fast.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I gotta go to the ATM. And I was like a kid, like in high school, bro, hella dumb, hella naive, like junior, sophomore, and then like. I was like, okay, let's go. And I was just walking through the fucking, hella, it was dark too, like it was nighttime, and walking through the fucking parking lot. And then he's like, give me your shit. Da, 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 da. And I was like, oh, fuck. And there was like two of them. I had a knife in my back pocket, and I was reaching for it. I wasn't going to do anything. I was just kind of flexing on him. And then his homie was like, oh, yeah, you pull it out. I got something for you right here. I was like, oh, fuck. And my cousin was with me. He's just screaming. He's like, let him go. Let him go. Like, he was making a big-ass scene so people, like, will see and shit. Let him go. Let us go. Let us go. And I didn't want to give him my backpack. I was like, fuck, man. I just, like, spent, like, $70 on this. And then, like, they eventually let me go, which I was surprised. You know what I mean? They didn't.
That's the thing. It's like you don't. Most
like,
gangsters don't want to deal with all the trouble.
Yeah.
They just want like quick little let's go.
Quick little.
Most of them don't want to shoot you because they don't want to catch a body for $70 a weed.
Yeah.
It's just not a great investment.
Yeah.
And you know, so if you make it like fuck you no, and you're in public like at BART or some shit, they're like fuck it, fuck off, and then they'll
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So that was the one time I almost got mugged. That was fucking. That was fucking.
They got sucker punched at 10.
Yeah.
It's glorious. Oakland puts hair on your chest. But yeah.
Living in the Bay Area your whole life. How have you taken in and perceived like the gentrification?
Well, for me, it just came into like when I first saw it, it was like 2012 was when I first started seeing the Bay Area change, or what I perceived as the Bay Area changing. Is like I remember back when I was a kid. The Mission District. My mom used to go to the Mission all the time. My aunt lived there. Everything. She used to have an apartment right by Alfaro and shit. And it was like hella cheap. And you'd see these signs in the window and shit for like there'd be always hella apartments for rent. It'd be like 1 bedroom or studio, $9.99. It was like $1,000 a month for an apartment, and that's kind of just what I remembered. And then I remember I was in the Mission for some reason, and I remember looking at the sign, and it was like 1 bedroom, $2,600. And I was like, hold on, what's going on here? And then I just noticed it getting crazier and crazier. And then I remember like prices rising in places where I wouldn't expect them to raise. Like, so at that time I think it was 2012. I was still living in downtown Martinez. And downtown Martinez started to get expensive. Downtown Martinez was a white trash shithole next to a refinery. It was a bunch of like Breaking Bad motherfuckers, like white people with neck tattoos and their like teeth missing and like weird
Hells Angels.
Yeah, Hells Angels and Nazis and shit.
Yeah,
it was like that type of shit. Yeah. And then like I started seeing like the prices there rise, and I'm like, are people really about to pay $2K to get cancer next to a refinery? Is that what's really going down right now? So I saw it hit there, and then I started looking at like, okay, if prices are increasing here, what's going on in the city? Because I saw the Mission District thing first, but I honestly didn't expect it to spread everywhere. Saw it hitting the entire region, and then I was like, oh, this is becoming a legitimate fucking problem. Like there's no one's going to be able to live here anymore if this continues to go. And then you just start seeing all the cool shit that made the Bay leave. Like you had like the coolest shit about San Francisco and Oakland was the culture of the people who lived here. Most of those people aren't rich because rich people are kind of fucking boring. Yeah, that's the truth. Yeah. They go to work and they want to be safe and they don't want to ruffle any feathers because they want to lose the shit that they have. So that anything they contribute is kind of fucking boring and sterile. If you want to have a cool like cultural movement in your city, you have to have some poor people because they're the ones willing to risk the little that they have to create some shit in the first fucking place. Yeah. So it's like, I started noticing more and more of that leave, and I started noticing places like North Oakland get really fucking nice overnight, like, Temescal or whatever, and like all that shit kind of become all hipstery. When back in the day, by MacArthur BART used to be the hood. Like Rockridge was always nice and shit, but like I just started seeing that change, and then I started seeing West Oakland, which like I'm not gonna lie to you, when I was a little kid in Oakland, I was scared of West Oakland because West Oakland used to be like serious as fuck. It still is to an extent, but like back in the day, like you'd be driving and like you'd see like 30, 40 people in the middle of the street. It was like that type of shit over there, and then I started seeing like people who look like me with money walking dogs and jogging and all shit around 2013. And I'm like, bro, like, what the fuck? Like, I wouldn't do that shit back. I was still like shook. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? Then you started seeing like little, just little businesses specifically for them. And I didn't really know what was really, because I didn't really understand gentrification at the time. It was very much, it was just like, it just started happening and I started like paying attention.
Yeah.
It wasn't something I knew about prior.
I feel like for most of us, yeah.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, I can't afford my rent and my neighborhood still sucks and what the fuck's going on, So I think that's what it was. But I think just noticing prices go up and then like people who make cool shit in general, not even like a race thing. There's white people make cool shit, black people make cool shit, whatever. But all the people who make cool shit, all the artists and all the cultural shit kind of just leave or not just leave, maybe if they didn't leave, but like their quality of life was just lessened to the point where it was like they were living in warehouses or sleeping on couches and all this other, or sleeping in their cars, and you kind of just see what's going on.
Yeah.
That was a long answer, but yeah.
What do you feel is like the worst part of gentrification?
It's just the fact that it crushes people, like legitimately, like you the stress, like, because the thing is like I grew up really poor, and like I never thought I would be able to stay here beyond a certain point, especially if it kept accelerating it the way it was. Like, it's just the worst part of it. It just like rips you away from like all your friends and family and puts you either in a completely different environment, because hella people leave the state, or you move somewhere like incredibly far away. Like you end up in like Sacramento, no disrespect to Sac or Stockton or whatever. Mm-hmm. But if you're from the Bay, like that's fucked up, because it's like, no one out there. Yeah. So it's not just about prices. It's fucked that you're like, it takes hell of your money, but it's also like, it rips you away from all your friends and family and community and sense of identity and just everything that makes a person a person. Because like community is foundational to the individual. So the collective obviously is important to an individual, and if you make it essentially impossible for someone to thrive or at least exist in their native environment in a certain way, then you pretty much are creating a situation for them to be stressed and fucked over, if not a portion of their life, for the rest of their life for some people. So I think that's the worst part. You're kind of just destroying not just communities but the individual in a kind of this like vicious cycle. Yeah,
absolutely.
So
it's a completely vicious cycle. Do you think anything could? What do you think could help gentrification?
The thing is like, it's not just limited to the Bay Area. It's more of a systemic thing nationwide.
Totally. There's Philly's gentrified.
We need
Washington.
to calm down on letting just corporate investors decide everything, or rich people decide everything. There needs to be governmental checks on what people can do, on what people can buy. There needs to be rent caps on certain neighborhoods, like and housing price caps, so people can be homeowners, people can have rent control. There needs to be, obviously, like when we think about government housing and things like that, everyone thinks about the projects and how it's all fucked up and whatever. That's more of a choice. You can have governments do public-private partnerships, or just government housing in general, where you build housing and put people in and make sure it's like not fucked up and don't just neglect people. And you can also create jobs programs. Most countries have free education or very low cost education. If you invest in these communities and invest in housing for these people, then a lot of these problems wouldn't exist. A lot of the thing about San Francisco, and why I say a lot of San Francisco's problems are fake, is because a lot of these problems are based on choices that the city is making, and not just the city, but the country as a whole. And America as a whole invests heavily in keeping poor people desperate. It's like a human resources racket almost. It's like, if you create a situation where a bunch of poor people are very, very desperate to survive, you're essentially decreasing the value of their labor, because they're so desperate they'll do stuff for less. And then you create the trap of criminality. You obviously make substances and things like that illegal, so that if they don't want to participate in the system, they go and kind of fuck off and sell drugs or whatever the fuck, and then they get arrested, and then you extract their labor for free. So it's kind of like this labor racket, where it's like you make the conditions shitty, you make it so they can't really participate in the economy on a meaningful level, and then when they get sick of being exploited, they go sell drugs or do something illegal, and then you just put them in prison, and then you make them work for nothing.
Would you consider that part of the homeless industrial complex? Do you believe in that?
I do. Because the thing is, it's become like a right-wing talking point, but I do see what people are saying with the homeless industrial complex, where it's like you have nonprofits working directly with the government and a lot of these directors and stuff are making six figures. So they know if the homeless problem goes away, they know their job probably goes away, or there's some uncertainty about where they're going to find employment. So it's like a lot of people are making a lot of money. Like who owns like Urban Alchemy, for example. Guy's probably rich, getting big contracts from San Francisco. And it's not just San Francisco. They have a contract in Portland, too. So it's like, you know, these people are very financially interested in the continuation of the problem and then creating this situation where they are the ones to fix it.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah.
And I get it. I want people who are incarcerated to get jobs, too, but there's other ways. Like, you know, but whatever. Yeah. I don't see it. I just don't see it getting better. But yes, I do think the homeless industrial complex is real, and there are people in positions of power who know, at least at least subconsciously, if not consciously.
I feel like with capitalism, there's always gonna, no matter what industry, there's always gonna be somebody feeding off of somebody.
Exactly. That's how the system's designed.
You know what I mean? So it's just like it's kind of fucked up, especially the prison system, homeless system. It's all, I feel like it's all kind of connected.
It's 100% connected. It's essentially creating a situation where poor people are desperate, and that way you can take their labor from them, whether it's through low-wage jobs or whether it's through incarceration, which forces them to work for free or like pennies a day. Because like the thing is like when you put someone in prison, you basically put essentially developing or / third world labor practices upon them. Like you had, and California is not different. Like for example, you had like prisoners putting out the wildfires for like $1 an hour.
What? I didn't even know that.
Yeah. You have prisoners doing that, and that's the whole thing. And that's why, for example, why the criminal justice system was so unfair to black people. So they made slavery illegal, except in the case of punishment for a crime. And so what they did was they just essentially freed black people, but then criminalized everything that they did in order to put them in the prison system to essentially have justifiable slaves. Like, oh, they're slaves, but that's because they did something bad. And they created this whole propaganda system, and then they created the ghettos, and you know, ghettoization will make a certain percentage of any community into criminals. If you look at the history of any immigrant community throughout America, especially if they're really poor and neglected, there's always going to be 1 to 2% of them that you know kind of go to criminality, and that's not. And a lot of white people are stupid and forget this shit, because like if you look at like the history of New York City, there was back during the immigrant waves of the late 1800s and early 1900s, you had huge problems with Italian gangs, Jewish gangs, Irish gangs. And then if you look at how black people are treated, they're kind of in this perpetual immigrant status, even though they're born and raised here, because of how they're mistreated by the system, which kind of just churns them into this free labor for the state, which no one wants to talk about. That's kind of what it is.
I made a post about it. I made it like somebody hired me for the vote. I forgot what it is. AB8.
Yeah.
Free the boys, free the thugs.
Let them all out.
But yeah, bro, it's fucked, man. Anything else you want to?
I hope you guys enjoyed the documentary. You know?
Yeah, man. I think I'm gonna actually make this an interview. I'm gonna put this on Spotify.
Dude, let's go.
I'm gonna make this. This was good enough. Like, I mean, like, I'm gonna just be like, if you gotta watch the whole interview,
watch the whole thing. Yeah.
Only like I'm gonna use the good juicy parts. of this talk we had.
Just me screaming "fuck, blood, and breed." Like, watch the interview.
for the documentary, about the deep parts about gentrification. But I mean, I feel like this has been a great conversation.
Yeah, no, it's been dope. You've been cool as fuck, actually. Because you know when you meet somebody, you're like, I have no idea what this is gonna be like. You've been fucking super cool, so this is sick.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, you're exactly how I thought you would be.
I'm glad. He came over here. I was expecting a piece of shit, and he did not disappoint. He was loud. He was obnoxious. He was white.
He brought the fire. All right, man. Well, thanks for coming on, man.
Sure, bro.
Appreciate it, bro. Right. Bay Area legend, Bay Area memes.
Bay Area memes, Mario.
One of the best journalists out here, man. Do you consider yourself?
Yeah, no, I am a journalist. I'm a writer. I write poetry. I'm a shit poster. I'm everything.
Shit poster, man. Check them out. Bay Area memes, man. Man, tap in, guys. I love you guys. Till next episode.
Peace.
Peace. We're on Treasure Island getting ready for a documentary, and then like you just give your like little spiel about like who you are, what you do, and then we'll just leave it at that, and then I'll just edit it so it goes right into the
works.
Video. All right, Freddie, ready? We Outside Podcast. My name is Mario Rivera. Today we're with Abe from Bay Area Memes.
What up?
Of the coolest, funniest Bay Area pages out, man. Today we're on Treasure Island working on our documentary about gentrification. This is going to be a dope exclusive documentary, so it's coming out probably in a couple months, but I was like, let's get an interview in for the podcast where we're outside, man. Abe, tell them a little bit about you.
My name is Abe Woodliff. I'm a associate editor for BrokeAssTour.com, but I'm most known for Bay Area memes, real Bay Area memes on Instagram, Bay Area memes on Facebook, or my writing, Abe is a Bad Writer on Instagram. We're here on Treasure Island, Mario Yo-Yo. We're working on a documentary about the gentrification of Treasure Island, and I'm happy to be here, so yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.